recommending this since you've covered this anime, but you should make a video on Heaven's Lost Property, or Sora no Otoshimono, because I feel like it's a similar level of trash and I also watched it on Netflix as a kid. Okie dokie!
Boom.
Warning! The following video covers an anime that has an obscene amount of explicit material. Viewer discretion is advised. So my last video did really well and I ain't got anything else to do, so why not make another anime video since these are a lot of fun to make. Today we're going to talk about Heaven's Lost Property. Don't know what the show's about? Cool, me neither. See, unlike with the Rosario plus Vampire video, I'm going into this completely blind, so whatever happens, happens. I'm expecting the absolute worst. Whatever it is, bring it on! I'm probably overhyping this. It's just gonna be a generic, edgy anime like any other, isn't it? The first episode starts with our main character dreaming about an angel. Oh, I should also note, some of the script is written before I finished the show, so that's why it's gonna seem like, it's my first time even hearing about this show. Well, it's because it kinda is. Anyways, we get the Psyche talking about some hole that's traversing the surface of the earth. What would they even look like in real life?
Man, it feels so good to finally go outside. What was that? Okay, like I was saying.
He deduces that the reason why no one knows what's going on is because their reasoning is bound to reality, and that they couldn't find anything in reality to explain the hole in the sky. Also, an analogy to make this easier for you. You could say that it's akin to the world beneath a girl's skirt. Oh, okay, there we go. I was getting suspicious by how normal this was for a second. I thought that we were gonna get something half decent for a second there, but nah, this show is straight filth. Moving on, our protagonist, Tomoki Sakurai, is sleeping late like a bum, and is being woken up by his sister, I presume. After being told off, she gets mad and takes off his blanket to find a hard surprise. Got morning wood. Man, I can't even take this seriously anymore. They say it's a good omen. Looking at. It's only been 2 minutes, by the way. They head to the school and they do school things. Cool. On board. And so is the protagonist, who just takes a nap and dreams about this angel again before he's awoken by his sister. It seems she knows about this dream, and it's been going. Damn, since he was a kid? God. Also, I couldn't help but notice the fact that all of the stuff from his desk just disappears when he wakes up. Like, did his sister just put his stuff from his desk to his backpack? Like, I mean, I guess that's a nice thing to do since the class is over and all, but couldn't he have just done that himself? I don't know, it just comes off as kind of needless to me. Look at me, overanalyzing an ecchi anime. It's probably just an error on the studio's end. They just forgot, bro. They just forgot. Well, it's not like anyone's gonna notice anyways. So she suggests that they should go visit cigar. So she suggests that they go visit Sugata. And while they go and do that, I don't even know what the hell's going on, but he's about to glide while everyone is discouraging him, telling him not to jump. Gotta love the dedication, I guess. Tomoki asks the class president why she hasn't tried to stop him yet, and she said she tried, but he wouldn't budge. But it's fine. She got some insurance, cause he'll surely need it. Well, actually not really. He only bled a little. He's fine. They went and talked to him about this dream he's been having, and he talks about how dreams are something not even science can explain. Just like how it is in the real world.
Man, it doesn't matter if you 15.
Sugata links Tomoki's dream to the whole since they're both things that people don't know. His hypothesis was that both of these unknowns were linked to the new world, no One Piece, that exists within the whole, or something, I don't know. After school, he is at some field, and then gets a call from Sugata telling him to watch out for the hole that was near him at the moment. And from that hole emerged an angel with conveniently revealing clothes. Yeah, now it's starting to feel like an ecchi. Our brother here was not having it, however, and books it, only to be overtaken by his curiosity, and goes over to check out what's going on anyways. After he runs away with the angel on his back, the show almost ends when a pillar was about to hit him. But before that could happen, the angel regains her consciousness and flies away to save both of them from impending doom. Then she makes herself his servant, and now I hate the show again. Why? Bro, who the hell just makes themselves someone else's slave? If you don't get your ass on, boy. This angeloid, oh yeah, that's what they're called, I guess, grants any wish that Tomoki desires. So he, throughout the episode, tests the waters by getting several different wishes granted, such as money, invisibility. Yo, ain't that like his sister or something? Fool around. What are you talking about? Yo, what? The freak ass show? Oh, hell no, bro. I punished the vicious girl who always quiet stopping me. Okay, buddy, okay. Then he stops time to do some more perverted things, and now was when I started to realize what kind of man this guy was. Some might say that his powers turned him into a mega pervert, which is just not true. He was always this bad, and his powers simply allowed him to act on his wildest desires. Like how I would be when I. No, I'm just playing. I'm Zawaru though. Yo, after a long day of fooling around, but booty cheeks naked, Tomoki is eating and living like a king with nobody to oppose him. Also, what do you mean you don't care about the confusing stuff? No, you literally asked.
Boy, if you don't get your squiggly diggly head.
And then he asks her to strip. Bro, for your viewing convenience, I'm skipping this scene. All we need to know from that was that orders cannot be cancelled after being made. Surely this won't go wrong in any conceivable way. And he also says this, which led to everybody being fucking dead the next day. Wow. Well, this took quite the left turn, didn't it? After realizing how badly he messed up, he begged his angeloid to turn back what he's done and make things back to how they were, and it turns out that orders actually can be cancelled. She was just being stingy, I guess, in that one scene. Talking about some order cannot be cancelled. Man, I know what the writer's intentions were. So after he wished for it all to have been a dream, the wish was granted, and all of that was indeed just a dream. How convenient. And that's that. Whew! Well, that was sure one hell of a first episode. I mean, I guess it wasn't terrible compared to some other things I've seen, but still, definitely not something I'd willingly watch again. The fan service was way too abundant, and that's only from the first episode. God knows what's to come from here on out if the first episode was this bad. More science stuff about black holes and stuff.
Oh, great heavens!
Anyways, it's morning time, and Tomoki's asleep late like a bum again. This is gonna be a recurring pattern, isn't it? Anyways, his sister walked into his room to wake him up. It ain't ecchi without one of these, huh? After that, they head to school and talk more about his angeloid. Oh yeah, her name is Ikaros. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. Anyways, right before Tomoki tells Ikaros to go home, she gives him this card. I wonder what it does. Well, maybe we know if someone wasn't trying to act like they knew everything. Well, he doesn't use the card anyways, because it's too dangerous, and he's learned his lesson. Okay, character development? Alright, we like that, we like that. So his sister offers to have lunch with him, and he accepts, but oops, she trips, and... And you ready for what comes next? Nah, you're not ready for what's about to happen. Boom! Penny shot seen from above. God, I hate when I walk so fast to the point where I trip on nothing, and everyone behind me gets flashed unconsensually. Truly one of my worst fears. Then, as our MC was thinking about how panties with a dog on it was kind of childish, and that Sohara should be wearing something a little more appropriate for her age,
Boy, if you don't get your...
her panties randomly flew off and started fluttering like a butterfly. What the hell is even going on anymore? I swear to God, the boy cannot stop getting caught lacking, bro. This is like the second time in this very scene. Anyways, she decides to wear another pair of panties, which fly off to outer space for some reason. The same thing happens for any other underwear she puts on. Our smart boy over here leads to the conclusion that this card grants Tomoki his unconscious wishes. Kinda strange that this guy unconsciously wants to see his sister without any underwear, but that ain't nothing surprising at this point. And that he should try to wish for something to test his hypothesis. He wishes for handcuffs, then he puts them on her, and I've always wanted to try this. Oh. After that, Ikaros arrives, and Tomoki decides to ask her directly for a wish, and he wishes for... So after all the panties have been gathered, they fly away, and then they have to buy more panties from the store. Why didn't they just get back the panties that flew away? Well, because the card is broken and can only grant one wish, and the panties were still able to fly, or whatever. After trying out the new panties, nothing has changed at all. They still fly away like a cat that just saw a cucumber until they were all gone. Well, all except one with a bear on it. That one worked. Cool, I guess. And the handcuffs came off too. How? See, the car shut itself down, and, well, that's how. The effect wore off, and all was good in the end. This episode starts with Tomoki and his sister struggling with homework. Real. It's probably some math stuff that they're...
Bruh. Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no. This is 4K!
get you in 4K?
That ain't me.
ソハラさんの白い水玉の三角形の面積は
Really, nigga?
Anyways, they go to Surgata for help since they don't know what the hell they're doing. And also, they meet up with Mikako, so she'll be tagging along as well for this trip. Alright, so he's solving the damn problem with seemingly relative ease until some point where he asks Ikaros if she can finish the rest of the whole problem. Here I was thinking, dang, it's so hard that not even the smart guy could do it. Well, now it's time for Ikaros to demonstrate her super intelligence and... After that embarrassment, Sugata decides to do the rest himself, and then it was food time. Everyone was assigned their own roles for the cookout, with Ikaros being in charge of the groceries. I mean, they gave her a shopping list and told her what they're having for lunch, so how could this possibly go wrong, am I right? Hey, that's not what they meant by chicken. So they had the decency to not eat a chick and turn it to curry and went fishing instead to make fish curry. They sent Ikaros to get some fish as well, and she caught a whole ass Pikachu, and they proceeded to cook that for dinner. Ikaros was actually the one who cooked that. Wow, I was actually surprised by the fact that she could cook. Okay, that sounded kind of mean. Whoops. And then they spend the night at Surgata's house. Well, kinda. And then they go back home. You know, besides that one loot shot that I skipped, this episode was relatively chill. So if we can get more of that. Okay, so remember the panties from episode 2? Well, they're back. Lol. His sister walks in on him, and without knocking... Okay, can I go off topic for a bit? Cause ain't no way every single female just forgets how to knock a damn door in an ecchi anime. It's like they weren't taught manners or something. If somebody walks into my room and they see me doing something embarrassing, it's their fault. Bro, why didn't you knock before coming in? It doesn't matter what I was doing. You're gonna respect my privacy, damn it. She destroys her own panties with her killer chops that reminds me a lot of Asuma from Naruto, and asks her brother to throw them all away, which he does. Not.
アイテム捨てられるわけがない。
What the hell? Seems that this girl is more than aware of what kind of man Tomoki was, and asked Ikaros to make a rule where whenever Tomoki looked at a pair of panties, they explode. Also, if explosives were even slightly more realistic than as portrayed in this anime, both of these motherfuckers would be dead. An explosion at point blank range should be enough to kill anybody. I don't care how strong they are. Real world logic aside, Tomoki now has to deal with the challenge of leaving his home. Why is that a challenge? Well, cause...
Oh, hell no.
When I'm in a doing too much competition and my opponent is this guy, Christmassy mood. Alright, buddy. No, puts him on the fish? The fish? How? Meanwhile, Sohara and Ikaros were going out to talk about stuff. My only friend. Oh, my bad, guys. This whole time I thought they were brother and sister, but they're actually childhood friends. That's on me. Should have caught on that sooner. So that explains why she has a crush on him. Phew! I thought there was going to be some kind of incestual anime I was getting myself into. It still doesn't excuse anything Tomoki did to her, by the way. I'm not letting that slide no matter what their relationship is. As they were heading back home, Tomoki was going through it. He made one final last-ditch effort by rushing in directly towards the door with zero regard for anything around him. Ah yes, the classic YOLO mindset. Do people still say that? Anyways, as he's about to hit the door, Sohara also opens the door, resulting in... Anyways, they both die, and that's how the show ends. Alright, that's it for this video. See ya. No, they lived. Same logic as before, no need to go over it again. Anyways, Ikaros tells the other two about the situation, and they arrive to give their assistance. Somehow, Sohara ended up inside the building, while Tomoki was out. But how did she get in? She was thrown into the house due to the explosion. Huh? I'm sorry, but what? What explosion are they talking about? Do you mean this explosion? If so, wouldn't that like launch her this way? You know, away from the house? I know the logic can be very inconsistent, but this just takes the cake.
You know what was it?
Tomoki believes that it was his fault, and this bitch gaslights him into going in, even though she knew that anyone else besides him could have gone and none of the panties would have exploded. I don't know, something's wrong with her. Anyways, he follows Sohara into his room, and she finds the trap he set up for anyone who opens the closet. This trap was this Gurren Lagann looking robot made of panties, because of course it is. He has to think about a way to prevent the robot from killing his childhood friend. Even though it's his robot, so why couldn't he have just like ordered the robot to stop? You know what I'm saying? As he's thinking about a way to stop his robot, he gets a flashback of his grandpa, and he tells him this. You're adopted. No, I was playing. He gives him a motivational speech that gives him the vigor to fight his own abomination and emerge victorious and also destroy the house. This is all your fault, Sohara. Why'd you make that damn wish? They're homeless now, just like how my mom kinda is. Wait, so why can't Tomoki just ask Ikaros to buy him a new house? Isn't she supposed to be able to give him whatever he wished for? I don't know, bro. It's an ecchi anime. Don't put too much thought into this. Anyways, they look for other places to stay, like Sugata's house, which was an automatic hell no since there were bears and shit. Man, this guy's basically homeless too. Well, kind of homeless. Like, anyways, Sohara ain't letting this boy sit with her, cause she knows what kind of freak this guy is. All seemed hopeless until Mikako walked in and invited them to her house. Cool, now they have somewhere to stay. Damn, she living with a Yakuza family? I mean, I guess it was always implied that she was the rich one amongst the bunch. Anyways, these fellas was eating good, I tell you. I wanted to reach through the screen and take me some. They're essentially living a luxury life, with one exception. If they were to enter a certain bath known as the decapitation bath, all would be over. As everyone else was enjoying themselves in the main area, Tomoki went to take a bath. In the decapitation god damn it, since he broke the rules, he had to run from the Yakuza with guns, and as per tradition in a fictional gun chase sequence, every single shot ever has to miss. And I probably got better aim than that in Fortnite, and my aim in Fortnite is amazing.
What's the body person? I'm so bad at this game.
Nice shot.
Screw this game.
Then Mikako proceeds to explain why this bath was forbidden. I mean, you can read it for yourself, but I don't really care enough to. It's not like this information will ever be brought up again. Since Tomoki broke the rule, the guys were ordered to end his life. However, before they could do that, Ikaros came in and was not about to let that slide. It's a good thing he stopped her though, because if he didn't, this guy probably would have been eviscerated without a second thought. The master decided to let it all slide and all was good. Until they woke up and Mikako had announced that they were on some uninhabited island far away. I mean, it's owned by her family, so that must mean it's an extension for their trip, right? Wait, what do you mean there's nothing here? Oh, hell no, bro, they're cooked. Tomoki and Ikaros were in charge of getting the food. Hey, no way, bro. Second JoJo's reference? Anyways, it is nighttime, and no progress was made whatsoever. Tomoki still wanders the island until he hears a scream. Could it be? Yes, it's none other than Sohara at the bottom of the hole. She got separated from the rest of the group, and now it's a duo survival mission with Tomoki and Sohara. Where did Ikaros go? I don't know, maybe this was a setup or something. Nah, I must be overthinking. Regardless, they must sustain their own lives with survival tactics, and they've also gained new looks. They've grown accustomed to their new lives, and all seemed good? Whoa, this is a plot twist I didn't see coming. Also, yo, character development? Tomoki actually seems like a respectable guy now. Yo, we should start sending more people to uninhabited islands and see how they change. I'm joking, by the way. Don't actually do that. Hey, if it actually becomes a thing, do not look at me, guys. All right, I'm joking. I'm just playing, yo. And then they ruin it with the classic ecchi anime trope, the trip. Anytime someone trips, something sexual will happen. Man, we can't have shit on. As they're about to get it on, the thing emerges from the sea and grabs Sohara by the leg. Tomoki, being the gentleman that he is, does what he can to fight the thing. After it breaks, Ikaros appears. Huh. Apparently she has some kind of magnetic ability that draws everything to her as she was walking in the ocean. Wait, so does that mean she chose to grab Sohara by the leg in that last scene? Why? And now it's time for the plot twist, or I guess the punchline of this episode.
おう頼む。
お待ちください。
I don't even know what I can say about this. So I guess they didn't really let that incident slide and everyone was in on this besides Tomoki. And Sohara? Huh? I'm sorry, but like, what did she do, bro? As far as I'm concerned, it was only Tomoki who broke the rules, so it should have only been him who was punished. So why does anime continue to give me a migraine? Anyways, their house is back to normal now. Cool. New character alert. We have a new character. Her name is Nymph. Anyways, they're going to the beach, and they take Nymph with them. After all, the more the merrier. Anyways, if what I said earlier didn't give it away already, this is a beach episode. Prepare yourself for the worst. That's probably actually worse. Anyways, they do beach activities like playing volleyball and a curry competition. Tomoki offers Nymph his glizzy and she... Okay, why did I say that? He offers her a hot dog and teaches her proper etiquette like saying thank you, and she tells him not to order him around. Cool, wait, is she gonna be one of those tsundere characters? It's a new girl whose entire reason for existing was to fulfill the role of a tsundere, since no harem is complete without one of those. And I stand yet to be corrected. Well, I guess this isn't really a harem, but it follows almost all the same tropes, so it's basically the same to me, so I'm taking it. Bro, I have the word wall written on my script. I actually forgot what it's supposed to be, bro. Is it supposed to be like a bit? I actually forgot what the bit here was supposed to be. So I just have the word wall sitting on my script.
Okay, so we got this wall over here, right? Alright, cool. Now what? Now what? Past me? Hey, what if I should do something with this wall? Like, I should, like, no. Sorry. What even is this, bro? I'm taking it. Like, I take the wall? Yeah, I don't know what I was cooking there. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Tomoki then tries to teach Ikaros how to swim so she can seem more human. This was, however, bad timing since Sohara was in the mood to go on the boat with Tomoki and saw the two swimming and felt left out. She can't swim either, so she would need to be really careful and to hold on to those oars, otherwise it's curtains for her. Well, isn't that great? Eventually, Tomoki sees her, goes to help her, and is assisted by none other than Nymph. Hold on, she may not be so bad after all. After their beach time, Sugata won a ticket to a summer stay from the food competition he had entered earlier, and that's where they slept for the day. Tomoki started to have that dream again, about that angel. However, it looks like he's fully aware that he's in a dream, and talks to this mysterious angel as though she's someone he knows. Well, I guess she's someone he knows since he's seen her several times in his dream. Anyways, he wakes up to Ikaro staring him down like she does every day since angeloids weren't designed to sleep. Since Tomoki was awake, he was like, hey, let's go for a little walk, eh? And also, Nymph, they take a breather, then head back home for the stay. Is how it should have went had it not been for Nymph getting played with by these ghouls. We're worried about her because she's so young and is walking away by herself. Okay, buddy, sure, bro, yeah, that's totally what's going on. After Tomoki calls him out on their BS, one of the guys grabs his hand, and if you remember what happened to the last guy who threatened Tomoki from episode 5, you already know what's gonna happen next. Tomorrow happens, and...
お前がずーっと大事そうに持ってるそのスイカ、多分とっくに中身腐ってぐちゃぐちゃだぞ。
Bro, why would you say that? Like, literally, what do you gain? Ain't that you're a servant that you have to, like, love and want to protect and be kind to? Like, gang, what the fuck?
Hey man, your pet is probably dead since it's been in that box for so long. How dare you assume...
Ikaros and Nymph both enroll into Tomoki's school. Oh yeah, I think we've all seen this trope before. Unusual character enrolls in school and causes a scene while trying not to. Come on, that's nothing new. Sohara sees it as an opportunity to teach the Angeloids something and gain their praise. However, it goes wrong every single time since they just kept not needing her help, and all the male students are attracted to Ikaros and Nymph. Also nothing new. Something like this happened with the last anime I covered on this channel. Anyways, more generic school stuff that doesn't really matter. And then we get to this scene where the two Angeloids are completely alone. Nymph uses this opportunity to scan Ikaros and find out about the protection placed onto her emotions and memories. Oh, interesting. It's like the show is starting to have an actual plot or something. Anyways, Ikaros was formerly known as the Uranus Queen and was quite the threat, but ever since her memories have been wiped, she no longer poses as much of a threat. I wonder what happens when she gets her memories back. Will she turn on her master perhaps? Only time will tell. This is the festival episode. Cool, we got the beach episode, and now we got the festival episode. Check. As Sugata was explaining something about history or whatever, this vicious from Cowboy Bebop looking ass nigga walks past him with a coffin on a cart. Who could this guy possibly be? Well, as it turns out, he's the shooting range guy, sorta. Well, Mikako shows up and explains to everyone what's going on. The townsfolk want to play a game of survival with these cork guns, and whoever wins gets hella dosh. Yeah, hell nah, bro, I'd turn tail this instant. So basically, the townspeople turn against each other for a cash prize. Bro, this is the type of stuff supervillains do. Well, At least not real guns, otherwise this would be an entirely different matter. Oh, and also, Ikaros joins the crossfire with a minigun. Of corks, presumably. After Tomoki tells her to stay out of this, she heads back to Nymph, who's trying to bring back Ikaros memories. But you know what? She's already my favorite character because she's the only one who's actually trying to move the plot forward. She kept hammering it in and in and in that Ikaros was not a pet class angeloid like she's been led to believe, and that she was actually the Uranus queen that was feared by everyone in Synapse. I believe that's the name of the world these angeloids are from. Nymph also reveals her true reason for being sent here, which was to bring Ikaros back to Synapse, even if she had to do it by force. Man, look at her. She's beating this bitch up, bro. And then she goes on to actually remove her memory protection to make Ikaros truly regain her memories. This, however, turned out to be a huge mistake, since this allowed her to remove her emotional protections and go absolutely haywire on Nymph. Holy shit. Why is this anime kinda engaging now? It didn't take long for Nymph to realize she stood no chance against Ikaros in her awakened form, so she left the world and will join back. When she joins back, meanwhile, the gun game's still going on, and bro, fuck you mean you had a real one mixed in? Yo, I told you this guy gave me Vicious from Cowboy Bebop vibes, bro. And guess who else also has a real gun? Yup, none other than Sohara, who's still convinced that her gun was fake. Wait, so does that mean she killed people whilst not knowing that her gun was real and just thought they played dead or something? Or am I just putting too much thought into this once again? God, I just can't help but overanalyze everything, man. It may just be a bad habit of mine. Regardless, she eventually corners Tomoki and aims for his head. However, before he gets hit, Ikaros comes in and takes one for the team. Damn, I did not expect it to go down like that. Oh, never mind. It kinda, just hurt her. Not much more than that. So this leaves 3 contestants. Tomoki, Sohara, and Vicious. His name's not actually Vicious, but I don't think he has a name, so I'm just gonna call him Vicious. Anyways, he clears the 2 with ease, and the money ends up going to nobody. Why did they even let him compete, bro? It was obvious that he was gonna be the toughest one. We cut to this dialogue with Nymph and her masters, talking about how she failed her mission and that they were considering scrapping her. And this episode doesn't even have an intro, that's how you know it's going to be important. This episode revolves around the gang going shopping. During this trip, Ikaros tries to act more human, and here's this. So she proceeds to lie by roasting the ever-living shit out of Sohara, though with opposite intentions, telling Sugara there is no new world, and telling Mikako that she's a very nice person. However, this part was the part that caught me the most off guard. The part where she says she doesn't want to be with Tomoki anymore. I was carfunkled. I don't even know what that word means, but that's what I was. The other ones were also kind of outlandish, especially the one calling Mikako a nice person. Like, bro, what? But this one especially took the cake for me. This sends the 2 into a depression, while Ikaros goes on to lie to more people in the name of acting more human until she is met with Nymph again with a vengeance. She already knows she's cooked if she tries to fight her head on, so she opts for a more low-key approach. To get Ikaros to do as she says, Nymph tries to hold her master hostage, which gets foiled immediately since he could sense her somehow. No wait, never mind. Well, her cover gets blown anyway since she basically just told him she was there and is not playing the role of a usual cast member. Then we cut to more slice of life stuff about Tomoki trying to sell stuff with the help of Nymph after a deal they made, and this leads to some insanely perverted stuff to nobody's surprise. This guy's horned out beyond repair, I tell you. As the day goes on, Sugata eventually catches on to Ikaros' lies and asks her and tells her that she doesn't need to lie all the time. She then goes on to express her true feelings to everyone. And this episode is the school fair episode. Check. Know what? I'm just gonna say it. This episode was actually good. Compared to everything else we've seen so far, I haven't felt anywhere near as much emotion as with here. There wasn't anywhere near as much fan service as with the other episodes, and they even performed a song called Falling Down, and it was genuinely beautiful. It was the highlight of the episode for me. I was bopping my head the whole time while listening because of how catchy this song was. The vocals, the instrumentals, the lyrics, everything about it was amazing. I don't know if I've just recognized the theme here, but it's always these trashy anime that randomly have some of the most beautiful and heartwarming songs of all time, bro. First, Rosario Plus Vampire, and then this. And I know for a fact, there's more. Yeah, if you have any, comment them down, and I'll review them sometime in the future. Anyways, nothing plot relevant happens in this episode. I just want to tell you guys how much I love that song. Okay, next. Bro, why isn't it cross-dressing? You are not like that, gang. Bro think he Joseph Joestar or something. Okay, so you know how the last episode was actually good? How it had the performance at the end and how they heavily toned down the fan service? Well, this episode came in and decided to make up for that and add even more fan service than usual to us regular folks' dismay and to the degenerates over in the and to the degenerate and to the and to and to the degenerates over in Japan's pleasure. Tomoki devises a way to sneak into the girls' public bath, and to help with this, Ikaros created a transformation device to transform Tomoki into his female counterpart, Tomoko. You really couldn't have made it more obvious, huh? Hey guys, it's your favorite female PNG tuber in the world, Maloso Swag Women. Let's all have fun together.
Regardless.
Nobody recognized that it was him until he went on to do more girly things, and then finally makes it to the girls' public bath where he does things that I'll not be showing on screen since I'm not trying to get banished into the Shadow Realm. Now I could have just overreacted and just pointed out, every egregious act that he did during that scene, but I don't know. I feel like I can only say, anime fanservice make me go so many times before it gets boring. So I've been trying to talk about other things instead, whilst occasionally taking jabs at this show whilst also not overdoing it, so as to not make this a redundant experience for you dear viewers. The crew has been focused on getting Ikaros to act more human by having her do and try several things. She and Tomoki and Nymph end up going on a date where they did date things. If these summaries feel brief, that's because they are. I'm sorry, I just don't have much to say about these episodes. I mean, like, if I had to say something, it'd be like, this guy needs to stop getting naked all the damn time. Like, seriously. The amount of times I've been unconsensually flashed because of this guy's perversion is sick. It's a good thing this anime is rated PG-13 and not R+. Otherwise...
Alright, let's go. Wieners.
So, were you engaged with that plot from episode 8? Well, I have good news, because this episode also has a plot. Maybe even more plot than the last one. In this episode, Nymph's master gets tired of her and sends these two angeloids to do her job. They begin by lying to her and telling her that her master sent them to help her take back Ikaros, but it was obvious from this scene that this was a big fat lie. Damn, this ain't got no chill, bro. He's already planning what he's gonna say to her in advance, and here I was thinking he was genuinely upset that she couldn't do her job like he asked. Man, this guy's just tormenting her for his own amusement. Meanwhile, the fellas over at home were setting up for their Christmas party since, well, it's that time of the year. It would have been real cool if I uploaded this video in December. As the two new angeloids were discussing their plan with Nymph, Nymph simply went along with what they were saying since she didn't know that she was being deceived yet. They say they're planning to persuade and take back Ikaros to the master, but come on, they made it way too obvious that they're lying.
Hey, I'm not gonna push you, bro. Trust, bro. I'm not gonna push you, alright? Are you sure? Alright, buddy. Okay. Let's see you try anything funny. Okay, I know it seems a little bit crazy. Nah, but just for that, I can explain, bro. Jump. I can explain. Jump.
Eventually, Ikaros gets so worried about Nymph that she just flies over to her location, and then they shoot out their laser blasters. Wow, who could have seen that coming? And then they reveal to her that they lied, like Logan Paul in that one tweet about Gengar. The strongest Pokemon like my child. And now we're up to speed. They aim their guns at Ikaros, but their plans are foiled by Nymph's Paradise song. All seemed good for a moment. Nymph finally kills the Angeloids, and Ikaros is now safe. If only. They went behind her and ripped off her wings? God damn, bro, when did the show get so metal? This left Ikaros with enough time to get up and activate Uranus Queen mode, as the others also arrived to witness it all. The other Angeloids tried to beat the now awakened Uranus Queen in a 2v1, but I think we all know how this goes. After they realized that they stood no chance, they attempted to flee the scene, but those efforts were in vain because Ikaros has some big-ass rockets and aimbot. You ain't beating that combination. As the guys cut off the chains from Nymph, freeing her from her master's tyranny, Ikaros fires one final attack as the finishing music plays. I don't know why, but this last bit was just so satisfying, and then everyone gets together, and they proceed to have a Merry Christmas. Then.
Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you're liking the vibe, then you should reconsider like and subscribe. Maybe even leave a comment too. And if you do, this video will get up in the algorithm. Woohoo!
And also, if you're a YouTuber watching this video, comment below telling me that you're a YouTuber and you subscribed so I can subscribe back. So, you know, it's like a little I help you, you help me type thing. Anyways, back to the video. Well, that was sure something. I already knew going into this that this anime was going to be some complete bullshit. Ever since the day someone in the comment section recommended it to me. I didn't even know what the anime was even about. I hadn't even thought about it until I finally decided to watch it. Thoughts? Well, I mean, I guess I don't hate it. Like, there's definitely some worse stuff out there. Like, to be clear, this is not a good anime. That's primarily why I'm making a video, making fun of it as I'm summarizing what happens. That's what I do here. Sure, it has some good moments, but they just don't save it from being yet another trashy, edgy anime amongst a bunch. It's another grain of sand in the desert. I don't know what else to tell you, but it just is. So, if you have any other anime out there for me to review... Oh yeah, I forgot there's a second season. We start the day with damn, bro, stop flashing out like you're fucking morning wood, bro. Saying, man. And instead of trying to hide it by turning away or something, even though Sora should have just knocked, I still don't know why knocking on doors before entering just isn't a thing in these anime. He asks Ikaros to shoot him in the balls so that she doesn't see his boner. Holy, doing too much. And the funniest part is he's perfectly fine afterwards, so I don't even know what the hell that was all about. Just straight bullshit for the sake of bullshit. Anyways, Tomoki starts having a dream about this angel after a long time of not... Wait, is that the cat from Azumanga Daioh? Apparently, in the new world, there's a way for angeloids to dive into people's dreams. This was referred to as the dive game.
Gonna catch me riding dirty.
So they participate in this dive game by entering Tomoki's dream. Finally, now we can start learning more about this mysterious blue-haired angle. In this dream, all seemed pretty much normal. You know, the sky, the clouds, the ground, it all looked the same. Now, it was time for the blue-haired angel to finally show herself.
What's the beast to a dinosaur, nigga? Pterodactyl mixed with a T-Rex. T-Rectodactyl.
Wait, this is Sugata's dream? Oh, what the hell is going on? She made a mistake. You fraud! Okay, let's hope she doesn't mess up this time, like before, and they get sent to Resident Evil. Amazing. This is Mikako's dream, by the way. Nymph, it's not looking too good for you. You messed up twice in a row. What are you doing? Okay, hopefully this time... Okay, what the hell is this? This is cartoon-ass world, man. Is this Sohara's dream? Yep, it is. And it is every bit as bad as you think it is. Oh, as it turns out, the reason that they couldn't get into Tomoki's dream is because his dream was being protected by... I don't know. After that was taken care of, they finally entered Tomoki's dream, and it was a bit different. It's like the same dream he's had with that angel. Did Nymph mess it up again? Or is it something out of her control? I don't know, but there's this big-ass slab in the middle of it that nobody could read. Could this be linked to the new world? I mean, what else could it be? Why would there just be something inscribed onto a slab with zero meaning? No one was able to read it, so they headed back and kept it in their memories. Sugata asks Ikaros to take out the trash with him and uses this opportunity to ask her if she knows about Tomoki's actual dream, and she can't answer. Yep, that means she does know, but isn't allowed to talk about it, or she just doesn't want to talk about it, because if she didn't know, she would have just said so. Sugata then goes on to ponder about the dream. And so another angeloid comes out of the sky with a shield and sword and some big ass boobies. What is even going on? Man, if you don't get your ass off my screen, y'all literally just touched hands for a second. Talk about some be more careful. Like it's something Tomoki's gonna keep in mind for a long time. All this just for him to completely forget about. Ikaros serves tea for Tomoki and herself and covers her private spot so Tomoki doesn't get any.
Nah, bro, I'm done. I'm done.
Tomoki finally decides to rid himself of his lust by meditating in the mountains.
Oh, nah. Okay. I'm liking this.
He took on a new look as well, so that's how you know he's serious. As all was going well with Tomoki, meditating to rid himself of his eternal horniness, it all comes crashing down, literally, when the new angeloid, Astria, comes to declare that her mission was to slay Tomoki. This would have been the end, had this one not been a complete clumsy dumbass who can't even swing a sword at the target. Like, see how the other two are just like, oh, it's just her. Anyways, wanna go have some snacks? Yeah, this flowchart explains it. Nymph is smart and emotional, but weak in combat. Ikaros is strong and smart, but lacks emotion. Meanwhile, Astria is strong and emotional, but is dumber than an American trying to remember where anything on the world map is.
Name 3 countries outside of America.
Europe?
That's a continent.
Also, I'm just so tired of these fast panty shots, bro. I try to always ignore them, but they just keep showing up in my face, and I don't know how much longer I can stay silent about it. And also, her voice is just so annoyingly high pitched, bro. I expected it to be like a bit more of a mature voice. Maybe just like, you know, not just this high pitched ass voice, but like, if you know, nitpicking aside, she decides to join Tomoki in his training in order to get him to lower his guard and take him out when he least sees it coming. She tries and fails, and then she tries, and then she tries and fails and tries and fails and tries and fails and tries and fails. The other girls were secretly watching Tomoki from a distance, you know, just to check on him. After some time, he buries all of his erotic manga in a hole. Could have just refunded them, then he would have gotten his money back at least. And Nymph sees this and gets a misunderstanding because, well, did you forget what kind of anime this is? You know, this is the problem that I have with the way Nymph is handled by the writers. It just feels like they're genuinely going for a tragic character who is powerless before her cruel master, but then they're gonna give her moments like these, which just take away all the sympathy that I had for her over the episodes. I don't know, it just feels like they're treating the important stuff like the side stuff, and the side stuff like important stuff, and it's really annoying because this could have been great. Kind of like a certain other anime I covered on this channel that could have been great. And then Ikaros shows up, and Tomoki acts like he wasn't reading this ecchi material, and he says that it's evil, and Ikaros takes that as personally as possible by destroying them with laser blasters. Even though he knew that that stuff was bad for him, he still felt a feeling of having lost something important, and that is purely human. Hold on, why did I sound like a philosopher just now? Anyways, Astria sees this as an opportunity to strike, and tries and fails and turns into his material to really get him distracted. I don't know why she didn't just stab him with a sword since she had one. Like, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, maybe it's because she was too stupid to think of that.
Dumbass motherfucker.
Anyways, miss me with that bullshit, and Sora comes in from behind to karate chop him because talking it out just isn't a thing in these types of anime. And then we cut to the more perverted shenanigans. Wait, what the hell is... Bro, ultimate attack ass animation, bro. He takes her onto like 6 realms or something. I have no idea what's going on, bro. Is this filler? This website I'm saying says it isn't, but it sure doesn't feel canon. He enters her into this domain expansion by pissing on her, or I don't know, I think this was happening here. I don't know, she looks kind of terrified. This was too much for her to bear, so she left. Hopefully she stays gone. And Tomoki heads home for some relaxation. And whatever this is. Sugata manages to find Astria and gain some information about Synapse from her that she was not supposed to tell anybody, but she still managed to tell somebody. Dumbass. And we have another festival episode? Look, I know the season took place like a year after the first, but still, I'd appreciate some new stuff. But then again, I guess I'm not the target audience for these shows. This year, they're doing cage fighting. However, it's not everyone who's competing, because, let's be real, that would just be too much. It's just a select few people who are competing against each other in a tournament-based system with a reward of 10 million yen and a bath with a bunch of hot women. Honestly, the women part was all it took for this guy to compete, so he came in dressed up as that, and proceeded to get his ass beat on the first match. Just kidding. He managed to overtake her by groping her breasts. Honestly, if I was her, I would just tank that shit out or just like push him back on the floor, hold his hands together, and then just press him down for the victory. But it wouldn't be quite like Heaven's Lost property if they just used logic, am I right? Then we get to the other matches that were also one-sided as hell, and we're on to the fight with Tomoki and wait, aren't they supposed to be wary of this bitch? Like I know she's an idiot and all, but she still desires to kill Tomoki, so why are they treating her like she's their friend or something? Anyways, this is a tag team match with Ikaros and Tomoki versus Astria and Nymph. Tomoki and Astria go back and forth with offense until Ikaros decides to intervene with her rockets, which gets her and Astria kicked out, making this a 1v1. She almost beats him, and then he gropes the titties, and instead of pressing forward, she flees and gives Tomoki the win. This leads them into the final match of the tourney, the perverted Tomoki versus the psychotic Mikako. Who will win this decisive battle? Let's find out. Mikako grabs his head, and then he slips by with the Man, stop the cat. You ain't had no pockets, and you weren't slippery before, so having the everlasting fluke did you manage to not only have a bottle of oil, but also oil yourself up as she was grabbing your head. Like, bro, this type of bullshit you see in JoJo's Part 3. Anyways, he tries to grope her, but she keeps avoiding him until she slips on the oil, which gives him the perfect opportunity to take off her bra and wear and and wear it on himself. Ref, do something. Oh, the ref is gone. Whoop, it's cooked. Except no it isn't, because then we get introduced into this mysterious fighter who comes in and whoops Tomoki to his core with a flying press, a flurry attack, and a backbreaker. This marked the end for our perverted protagonist. The other ref comes in and declares Sohara the win. Oh, my bad. It was supposed to be a mystery. Sorry for ruining the immersion, guys.
謎の覆面レスラーじゃないんですか？
ということは美月か。
私じゃありません。
They ended up giving the win to Tomoki anyway, since, oh well, technically he won the fight. Someone else had to intervene to beat him in the fight, so if this was fair, he would have won. And then is the world champion fight against everyone's favorite character, Vicious. He kills him. The end! This episode was a snowball fight hosted by Mikako just cause she was bored. Fan service, you know the deal. All was mind-numbing and lame, until this part where Astria almost gets the kill on Tomoki, but he stops her and says,
それもマスターのご命令ってやつか。
Finally, some depth. It's been a while since I've seen some depth. Anyways, Astria was persistent with her master's way and proceeded with killing Tomoki until she was stopped by Ikaros, who told her, I don't care who's telling you to do all this, but if you hurt my master, you're dead to me, you hear? Wait, but I thought she was supposed to be stronger than Ikaros. Am I just misremembering things, or is this a mistake on their part? I don't know, I feel like I'm being gaslit here. So I guess they know Astria's true motives, but still don't take her seriously enough to see her as a threat. That must be why Sugata is just letting her stay at his home. Well, kinda home. Sugata, with the help of Nymph, makes another attempt at the dive game for some investigations. Oh, and Sohara tagged along. Well, I mean, this is a dream, so I guess it doesn't really matter, I guess. Wait, wasn't this a dream? Or was it? Tomoki mistakes it for an adult toy because what else are we supposed to make the perverted MC think about besides perverted stuff? Oh, I get it now. They're not actually in Tomoki's dream. They're in the synapse. They're at the home of the Angeloids. Ah, okay. Man, this place really feels hollow. The way that everyone just looks and acts the same, it's just haunting. And that's a good thing. I'm pretty confident that this was the vibe that they were going for here. Sugata and Sohara go to this building, and once they try to enter, they get separated and are teleported to random parts of the earth as holograms. I don't know why, but I'm getting hella Evangelion vibes from this. After some more teleportation, Sugata finally resides in some Angeloid spawn area, I think, where he's confronted by the two Gamma bastards who have Sohara held hostage. They're about to kill him, but Nymph saves him and Sohara just in time due to the agreement they made earlier. Remember that scene with the watch? Yeah, that's how. Well, now we know more about Synapse and what goes on in there. I'm liking this plot progression. However, expecting this kind of consistency for the rest of the series would be wishful thinking, so I'm not gonna get my hopes too high since, well, you know how it goes by now. They gather around and have some food, with Astria who's still trying to take Tomoki's life. Looking at. Hey, how about you don't trip over nothing and then we can talk about how mistaken he is. Tomoki takes the adult toy with him to test it out. Then it starts to glow and open up and give Tomoki an idea. He puts on his engineer clothes and some tools and wait, are those the parts of the panty robot? Oh no, I know how to make some devious ass invention. I just know it. And so did he. Did he, not did he. Anyways, he builds a motorcycle, made with panties and a crystal, to go on and cause more perverted havoc. What? Did you think it was gonna be something normal? Well, obviously not. It's a robot made of panties and a crystal. This goes on until Astria. Nah, bro, what the hell? Bro, Looney Tunes ass strategy, bro. Go pull up some dynamite. Hey, you got an anvil too? Somewhere hanging from above? Man, I'm so tired of this bullshit. Well, that went as well as it could have. She draws her swords and strikes. But it's cool. Tomoki has his robots who will definitely come in clutch at this time, and it's low on energy. Wait, arrow energy? The hell is that? Is this machine powered up by him being erotic or something? Oh yeah, of course it is. I was even saying that as a genuine guess. I just couldn't think of what else this was referring to. Also, if someone is holding a sword and their opponent still manages to sneak behind them, despite the fact that they're much stronger, then they deserve whatever happens to them. Like, dog, the nickel was right in front of you. Swing that shit, man. Regardless. Tomoki's robot awakens, and here I was thinking, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna hit her with some kind of strong attack just to finish things off. But then I remembered what show I was watching and felt silly for expecting anything other than complete and utter filth. Sora sees this abomination and destroys it right in front of his eyes, since it was created with her panties. Why does he still have her panties? Oh hell no, a grave? Bro made a grave for the robot? Man, I can assure you it was not that deep. As for the thing that fell from Synapse, as it turns out, it was just something that existed and was not really that important, so there goes that. Man, the episode just started, but what could this possibly be about? Astria became a student in this academy. Honestly, I'm more surprised that it hasn't happened sooner. Anyways, she's stupid, so of course, she doesn't have any idea what's going on. It's to the point where she had to be taught every subject from kindergarten level. Later on was the quiz show segment, resembling that one minigame from Mario Party 9. Except instead of luck, you just need to know the answers for certain questions, and if you get them wrong, you would fall and face some kind of mysterious punishment. And they all fall and face their own kind of mysterious punishment by picking the most obviously wrong answers all the time. Well, except for Nymph, who was the only one who actually had a brain that worked properly. Well, until they started asking a bunch of perverted questions, which led Tomoki to catch up with Nymph until the last question, where he fumbled for the men of culture.
Man, this some BS. Man, if you don't put your hand down.
After this, Astria and Tomoki get into a fight over who is truly the dumbest. Spoiler alert, the answer is right here. So they proceeded to play some board games and test their intelligence, or lack thereof. She won by 1 point. Score 1 for the busty klutz. They eat dinner and Astria is basically now a part of the crew. This episode starts with a dream where the angel, who is still unnamed, has something urgent to say to Tomoki, but before he could relay the message, he gets transported to his room, and in her place is a mysterious and dangerous figure who just reeks of trouble. And she's carrying Ikaros by the hand? Oh hell no, this ain't no regular dream, I tell you. She wombo combos the shit out of Ikaros, and Tomoki tries to stop her, but before he does that, the dream ends. Well, wasn't that quite the interesting dream? The rest of the first half of this episode revolves around these two freaks eating Ikaros watermelons because they were hungry, and then some bullshit happened, and some more bullshit happened, and then we're here where Tomoki is suddenly met with... Want me to take you there? Oh hell no, she's trying to kill his ass. After teleporting away like some antagonist... Oh wait, Tomoki heads back home. Sugata asks Nymph to help him explore Synapse some more, and Tomoki walks up to her and grabs her hand. What the hell are you doing, bro? Look, I know you're a dumbass, but this is just irresponsible. You care more about your friends than to ditch them for some lust, right? And it better be something important. Poor Sugata, he's just like, yo, Nymph, why don't you activate the damn thing like we agreed? And is saved by the angel from Tomoki's dream. How sweet of her, am I right, guys? Love quadrangle. Oh boy, I sure wish there was a word for a shape with 4 sides. Anyways, Tomoki wants to become Nymph's master. What? Where is this going? He says he always found her to be cute and... Look at his eyes. Yeah, something ain't right. Either he's possessed or he's being impersonated by... Either way, he tells the Nymph,
You should kill yourself now.
well, it's a good thing she realized it wasn't him and was immediately ready to throw hands. Yep, I was right. It was the freaky kid from earlier. Nymph hits her with a hyper voice, and she eats that up like breakfast. Then she holds her up whilst asking her repeatedly, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. The Epsilon type continues to torment Nymph by transforming into other people she knows and mocking her by telling her that she ain't needed. Ouch. Her torment goes on and on until Ikaros comes in and helps Nymph out in the fight. Ikaros charges up with some missiles only to be surprised by her transforming into Tomoki, which completely throws her off. Unable to act, she gets ordered by her opponent to kill Nymph. Instead, she throws Nymph away and tells her to escape. Wait, but her wings are... maybe she thought about something before throwing her like that. As cool as that was, she still wasn't able to stand up to this poser, even though it should have been obvious that it ain't him. He then orders Ikaros to
Kill yourself now.
He wanted it to be extra painful by making her start with her right arm. Bro, when did the show get so metal? Again. This causes a loud thud. Actually, it could have been Nymph's landing that caused that loud noise, which Tomoki and Sohara both heard from the cafe. Tomoki goes to check out the noise, while Nymph is having an existential crisis. She eventually runs into Astria and begs her to go and help Ikaros in the fight, which she agrees. Until her master gives her a call to destroy Nymph. I honestly feel like I should have said this sooner, but I don't really get why the angels are depicted as absolute dickheads who just want their creations to suffer. As far as I'm concerned, angels are supposed to be the good ones, not the bad ones. She actually goes on to destroy her, and Nymph just accepts her face. She's like, yeah, ain't no reason for me to be alive anymore, just take me already. This would have been the end for Nymph. But then our goat, Tomoki, comes in to stop her. He tells Delta to make a decision for herself, and so does she. As Chaos, her name is Chaos by the way, finishes off Ikaros with a bang, Astria comes in and decides to finish the job instead of just listening to everything her master told her to do. Let's go! And here is where we get to see just how formidable a foe she can be when she's actually locked in. Wow. She seems like an actual, genuine threat. And she got a big ass sword. Oh hell no, but it's GG's from here. Ain't no way she lives that attack. Oh. She lived that attack. And then she starts spamming long range attacks because she lacks skill. This goes on until she gets shot from the back. Until she gets hit with a missile from behind by none other than Ikaros, who had enough time to go into this form. Oh, it's over now. Okay, this little Epsilon is a bit stronger than I had anticipated earlier. Like, I knew she was strong, but this exceeds my expectations a bit. She destroys Ikaros' ship and then charges up a large cannon attack, but it's interrupted by Ikaros changing form and opting for a fighter jet-esque build to strike her at multiple times the speed of sound. She tries to pull the Master Card again, but by now, she knows it better than to fall for that, so she plunges her down deep into the ocean to go swim with the dolphins. She's even holding her in place by the head to ensure that this kills. Oh, get him, finally. She dies, and Astria saves her. This episode is complete filler and bullshit, and does not move the plot forward whatsoever. Same deal here. Moving on. Yeah, so you know how I said, finally, she dies 3 episodes ago? Psych! She's still alive, and is looking for problems like usual. Also, she looks like that now.
We must stay focused, brother.
The second generation is still alive. Wait, the second generation? Oh, so this generation is stronger than the first, huh? So that means that the first is worse than the second. That means that the first generation was the worst generation. One Piece reference confirmed. Sugata instructs Tomoki to enter the dive game, where he meets up with Blue Hair, and she tells him to stop Chaos from causing any more trouble. As he goes on to do that, the Angeloids plan a team attack against Chaos, which works. Except, no it doesn't, because this is the final boss we're talking about here. All seems lost until... Okay, I feel like my word isn't getting repetitive. Let me try something else. It seemed as though the last glimmer of hope has been fully diminished. Nah, whatever. Until Tomoki comes in and gives them some words of encouragement. And also the thing that he did earlier. Power up the Angeloids and completely annihilate Chaos once and for all. They actually don't kill her, and Tomoki uses the... Oh wait, never mind. That lock was from earlier was for this? Wait, so... was him telling the girls to live and give them power just plot armor, or what? How did that work? I guess it's all good now. She rests peacefully to never cause any harm to anyone ever again. Fantastic. Chaos is now study material for our angel friend, whom we still haven't gotten a name for. And the rest of this episode was irrelevant. Well, until this part where Chaos joins the crew, but by this point, who cares? Okay, we're done. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed this just as much as I did, if not more. I've been Melissa Swegman, watching guys for thinking, and that's basically it. See ya.
Birds up on the prairie, inferno grass. Birds up on the prairie.